New poll shows Americans say trans acceptance has gone too far. An NBC News poll released on Sunday shows that 33% of respondents feel that society has gone too far when it comes to trans acceptance, while 35% feel society has not gone far enough, and 25% feel we have reached a reasonable balance. This is very different than in 2015, when only 20% felt that society had gone too far, and 44% felt that we had not gone far enough. This draws attention to the fact that transgender protections have become a successful political weapon, and that while many in society do not know anyone who is transgender, they will quickly make decisions based on perceived threats from transgender individuals.
Yeah, so this just follows the story we were just on.
Yes.
And it's just fear-based, it's fear-mongering, with total ignorance.
But it does come down to that idea of knowing somebody. It's like, when gay people didn't have marriage, and it was like when people started saying, oh, I know somebody, I have a gay brother, a gay lesbian sister, a gay mom, when that started happening, it's a question of when you know somebody, it makes a big difference. And I was thinking about RuPaul, Drag Race, being on TV, and the percentage of straight people that watch that show, and how that show probably is making a huge difference.
Yeah.
So when are they going to have the survey about interracial marriage, I wonder now? Are we going to have a survey about interracial marriage in America? Are we going to go by what's popular in the country and what people say? Because on abortion, the court is going exactly against that. Right. Abortion is supported by almost 70% of the country, yes, exactly. And they're going to outlaw it. So what is it now?
They're picking and choosing.
Right, exactly right.
Again, I think the big issue, besides protecting trans rights and our trans children and families, is I just quantified the importance of this survey poll. The comparison, the two statistical numbers in this story, it's a little complicated, is 2015 and 2022. In 2015, Donald Trump is running for President of the United States. And then as he's elected President of the United States, he starts to make dramatic changes, specifically in trans issues, in the military, et cetera, in serving. And that creates a wedge that he begins to hammer and pound out. The trans community, therefore the LGBTQ community, has lost 15 points in 7 years. That's not true in gay marriage. That's not true in acceptance of queer relationships or the queer community. It is a very specific phenomenon. Their strategy is working. I just point out historically, in 1936, somebody in Berlin, Germany, did the exact same thing. And over the course of the next 3 years, it worked in terms of finding an enemy. They found the enemy, they killed the enemy. And we're watching the exact
they
same
applaud. They all applaud around it.
People criticize me for making that comparison, but I think the comparison is completely real. Now the question is, would we be better off if we backed away, if we followed this poll recommendation of the American public? Would we as LGBTQ be better off if we backed away from the T? Would we be better off? And should we because of it?
I can't even process that question now.
Because it's about integrity and honesty.
And we're all in this together, so no.
Well, no, and the answer from me is no. I mean, I don't think that human rights are subject to popularity contests. And trans are people. They're human They're human like all of us. The LG and the B.
I'll agree with that observation.
Yes.
So final question then, as it relates to that. Are we hearing privately then in our community, among the L's and the G's and the B's and maybe the Q's, but the L's and the G's and the B's, are we hearing privately trans has gone way too far and that's our problem?
No one has said that to me privately. I would probably slap them so they don't have to say it to me.
Yeah, I haven't heard that we've gone too far, but I also haven't gone, and we should be supporting them more.
Right.
So where are we? We're only doing half-assed stuff for the T.
But I think that, we're involved, we're invested in the news and what's happening with the news because we're here. There are, I think, probably the majority of people in the community are not as invested in what's happening. And so what you've noted before many times on previous shows, that, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay, my own little, I could be that person. I could be the person to say, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm just going to.
Yeah, I'm not affected.
You know, it's not going to hurt me.
Yeah.
So,
I should say that about abortion then, because that's not going to affect me ever in my life, for real. I mean, there's not an issue for me, will not be. Maybe
you
my
have- you-
sister,
you have
my
friends
sister,
and
my
you have
niece,
family members,
my
you know,
sister.
and that
That's
should be
exactly
enough, my friend.
exactly right.
That should
That's
be
why
enough.
I'm invested in this. I don't think that human rights are based on, you know, let's see how popular it is in America nowadays, this issue. No, I have a sister, I have nieces, I have, you know, friends, and I believe that there is the right of them to choose what to do with their bodies.
Yeah.
and that's not even considering what could be done with the 14th Amendment. You're basing that solely on this, which is I agree with you 100%.
You know,
but then it's the further statement going on what can happen because of the 14th Amendment.
Final thought: if all of the observations that are being made at the table, no, we don't believe that that trans should be left behind. Yes, we believe that we have to rally and protect members of our community even more because we have the privilege to be able to do it. Then our community is going to have to do this because if not, we are likely going to lose.
Yep.
And when we lose, then it not only affects the culture wars that are under attack, but even of marriage is at stake. We've done a story tonight that the president says marriage is at stake here. We've conversed that the 14th Amendment for the right to privacy to be able to have two men to have consensual sex is at play.
That's
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So we are either going to step up or we are going to lose significant rights. That is what's ahead.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of